Hello and welcome to the Rask Network. What you're about to hear and see is limited to general financial information only. Please be sure to speak to your financial planner or refer to our financial services guide available at rask.com.au/FSG before acting on the information.
We're back. Welcome back to the Australian Business Podcast. I'm joined by Zara. Zara, how are you?
Good, Jordan. How are you?
Good. Today we're doing a Q&A.
Yes, we are.
We haven't done one in a while. So if you do have any questions and you do want to ask us, there's a link in the show notes below. Ask away and then we'll get back to them. Today we're going to run through 3 questions. We have a sole trader tradie, we have the pizza man, and we have Elise. So question number 1, sole trader tradie. I'm a sole trader tradie that is looking to put on my first hire or 2. Only looking at casual roles at the moment, but would like to know how to put on a part-timer if need be. What's my steps to making this all legitimate with super, tax, sick leave, etc.?
That's a good question.
Answer away.
I'm going to leave this one to you.
Yeah, cool. So there's a couple of things and we'll go line by line to break it down. If you're going to hire your first person or your second person, it's an interesting one because if you're going to hire 1 or 2 people, you might have enough work for a full-time person. And if you do, I'd probably suggest doing that because that's going to allow you to scale relatively quickly. Now, the tricky thing with casual roles is that you're going to be paying overs. You're going to be paying more than what you'd be paying someone full-time. And given that in the trade space, a lot of people just subcontract. So if you have a project coming up, a lot of the times you don't generally see casual roles in the trade space. You'll see a subcontractor, or if you know you've got a job coming up, you hire a subby for it. So I'd probably lean towards getting a subcontractor more so than a part-time person. And even if you don't have enough work for a full-time person, maybe it's worth getting an apprentice. If you get an apprentice,
it's a good idea. You'll
have subsidies from the government. It's going to cost you less, so there's less risk. And in terms of doing everything legitimately, tax, super, sick leave, if you have a subcontractor, generally, if you're getting them to help you on projects, you won't have to worry about super or tax or sick leave. But if you decide that you want to bring someone on the books, you'll get them to fill out a tax file number declaration and you'll get them to fill out a super nomination form. And then once you get those, send them off to your bookkeeper, send them off to your accountant, and then they'll go in and they'll update everything and make sure all of this stuff is being done correctly. Generally, you'll be using Xero or MYOB and you use that to process all the payroll.
Yep.
And if you're a sole trader and you're looking at hiring staff, become a company. So think about that too. Sole trader, tradie man.
Yep.
Person.
Awesome. And also if you are looking for some more help or maybe there was a couple of things you want to dive into a little bit more, in the show notes, you can reach out to Jordan and have a free strategy call and he'll be able to help you out.
Yeah, for sure. Sole trader, tradie, if you hear this, book a call and we can run through all of this in a bit more depth as well. We can find out a bit about your situation. And yeah, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for the plug.
That's okay. And then the second question we have is from the pizza man. I own a mobile wood-fired pizza business and I would like to know if you think a weekly or a monthly newsletter keeping people updated as to where we are located would be of any benefit. Thank you. First response, absolutely. I think that's a great idea. I think if you had a little QR code at the front of your wood-fired pizza kind of van that people could scan, I think that's a fantastic idea. It could be updates about where you're located. Maybe you have like a special as a part of that new location. So people kind of can look at that menu. They know where you're at. They know what they can get. I think that's a great idea. I think also obviously utilizing social media is another massive one. Again, if people are kind of following you and they're following along with your journey, they can also then visually kind of see where you are and see what's on the menu. And, you know, if you're making some really pretty pizzas and they look really delicious, then you might entice them to come in as well. Yeah,
for sure. And if you're doing events, I think it's super important to have some type of, like you said, QR code where you can get people's information because I'm just thinking back, I had I think it was an engagement party, it was probably a few months ago now, and they had it wasn't a pizza, it was some type of food truck. And on that food truck, they have a massive QR code and you'd scan the QR code and it would take you to their link tree. And then you'd have like all the their rates. They had like a fundraiser they were doing. So I think it's super important to try and get as much engagement as you can and take advantage of all the traffic that's at these events.
Yeah. I know there used to be a food truck in Melbourne and I can't remember what it was called. Was it called Mr. Burger? I don't know. And it used to be in like Brunswick, Fitzroy, and it was a food van. And they used to just kind of on their socials tell you where they were. And huge loyal following. base, and people used to drive to that suburb to eat those burgers. So yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of benefit in that for sure.
What other marketing channels do you think the pizza man can use with that type of business? What would you recommend?
I would say social media in terms of Instagram and TikTok, I think would be really great. And yeah, email marketing, definitely letting people know where you're at. I think they would probably be my 2 core focuses.
Yeah, for sure. Because it doesn't cost you money. Well, there's just the subscription cost for the email marketing, and then for the Instagram, Facebook, and all the social media stuff, it's just your time.
Yeah,
so take
absolutely.
advantage of that for sure. I've got one more question from Elise, and she runs a small e-com business and has been in operation for 4 years, and recently took the plunge into full-time work with the business. She does social media, but knows there's so much more that she could be doing. And do you have any suggestions?
First and foremost, congrats
Well
on
done.
taking the plunge into full-time work with your own business. That's huge. Really, really exciting. So I can imagine, there's a lot of things probably swimming around in your head, Elise, of what you could be doing. So that's super exciting. I think my first suggestion would be put together a bit of a marketing strategy, put a bit of a plan together. Because when you are at this stage where you're full-time, you've got a lot of opportunity of where you could be investing your time, you probably want to make sure that it's the right channel and the right place to be investing your time.
On that marketing strategy, what should Elise be focusing on? And if we can just run through the steps of a marketing strategy and what that involves, I think that'd be great.
Yep. I think what I would do first is set out what you want to achieve over the next 12 months.
Yep.
So set out your goals, start with kind of the big hairy goals in the 12-month plan, and then you scale backwards. So you go, okay, well, if this is what I want to achieve in 12 months, whether that be a financial figure, like as in revenue, whether it be a number of units sold, whatever that sort of looks like, whether it be a following on social media, kind of map that out. And then I would work backwards and say, okay, well, if I want to hit X in 12 months, what do I need to hit in 6 months? Okay, cool. And then what do I need to hit in 3 months?
Yep.
And then from there you say, okay, well, in order to achieve this in these next 3 months, these are the activities that I need to be doing. These are the channels that I need to be engaging in, whether it be paid, whether it be organic. And so then you can actually start to build out these really actionable steps of what you need to be doing and when you need to be doing it, so that you can kind of hit these success metrics for yourself. So yeah, that's, I guess, typically what I would say. That would be how I would approach it. And then you can kind of, as a part of those kind of 3, 6, and 12 month kind of time blocks, you can have kind of KPIs and success metrics that you can essentially monitor your progress against. So you can say, okay, well, if I wanted to, by the end of 3 months, I wanted to have 500 followers on social media. Again, I'm just kind of pulling these numbers, but say that was your goal. Okay, well, what do you need to be doing in those first 3 months to hit that goal? Do you need to be creating content every day? Do you need to be posting reels? Do you need to be spending time on TikTok to understand what's trending and what's not trending, and understanding how you can utilize what is trending and apply that to your organization and to your business and to your own social media? And we did an interview with Beth from St. Jack earlier today, and she actually spoke about ways that you can really relate irrelevant content to your business. And I think that's a really good, maybe Elise, go and have a listen to that, because Beth talks about it really well, and she's a content kind of goddess. So I think it's a really good one to go back to for some advice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
There's another question here that I don't think we've done before, so we're going to run through it now.
Yeah.
And it's from soon-to-be Education Minister of Barbering. The
Cool.
question is, hey guys, after listening to the podcast featuring Kate Toon, I've been wanting to make an online training course in the barbering industry. What platforms or software have you used or recommend to get started? Love the content you guys bring out each week. Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Minister of Barbering.
Thank you. It's a nice comment. We like to hear that. And yeah, that's a good question. I mean, through Inflection, we use Circle. We've played around with Kajabi.
Yeah, we didn't like it, so we
Didn't
sucked
like it. So we made the transition across to Circle, but Circle's been great. Do you think?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it does everything from community management, the video calls, what else? Collecting payment as well.
Collecting payment, you can connect it to Stripe.
Yep, it's
Super easy. And you can have like paid and free spaces. So like kind of locked areas for like your paid customers.
Yep.
They can go through courses. You can have kind of like a free networking community that people can access, or like a forum that people can kind of jump in, introduce themselves. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure how many, courses you want to be building out as part of this education program. But, maybe there's an introductory stage, maybe there's an intermediate, maybe there's like an advanced opportunity where people can really kind of dive into different haircuts and styles and products and those kinds of things. And you would be able to have these courses would be locked depending on what people are signing up for and what they're buying.
And also, Mr. Minister for barbering, you also want to make sure you're focusing on pre-qualification things as well. So what I mean by that is once you have a lead, you want to really identify that that there's potential to make a sale, because you may get a lot of leads and they could be crap. So you just want to make sure you get on the front foot with that. You can use things like Typeform, questionnaires, email marketing. There's a whole range of things to do. But yeah, super interesting. If you've already launched this program or this course, reach out and let us know. It'd be super keen to see it. Not that I have much hair left, but it'll be good to see it. It'll be good to see what you're focusing on. But yeah, because it's interesting because I haven't actually heard anything like that before. So
yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, I guess, in general, like the education space is kind of taking off. I think it's one of the most profitable areas of business globally at the moment. I heard some crazy stats today in terms of every hour how much money is made in the education space. But I think it's, an awesome opportunity. And I'd love to see if you have launched it, Mr. Education Minister for Barbering.
The Honourable Minister of Barbering.
Would love to see where you guys are at.
Yeah,
reach
for sure.
out.
Yeah, for sure. Reach out, and if it's
really interesting.
Yeah, we can get you on the show.
Yeah, talk about your journey and how you kind of got there and what platforms you're using and how that process has been.
Cool, awesome. That's been awesome.
That's been great. Some good questions in there. Thanks, Jordan.
Awesome. Thanks, Zara. And also, if anyone, we did touch on a few marketing things there. And if anyone does want any help with their marketing, I know, Zara, you have a free discovery call, and the link's in the show notes where you can run through that marketing strategy for your specific business. So feel free to reach out, links in the show notes, and book a free discovery call.
Yeah, would love to chat with you.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching this video on the Rask Network. While you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get videos each and every day on business, finance, investing, and so much more.